Alright, what's up guys, it's KOSDFF here, and today I'm doing a video that, for the most part I would never usually do on my channel. As you guys probably know, as you're sub to me, is, I like to do funny moments and, funny things on video games and try to keep it like all laughs on my channel. I really don't like drama and would never really want to put like a YouTube video out that its sole purpose was to cause drama, and that's not the purpose of this video. I'm going to be just basically talking about what happened over the weekend being at UMG Dallas. If you weren't paying attention to my Twitter, or apparently quite a few others, we got in a little bit of a skirmish with Keemstar. We did have a running into at this event, which I guess a lot of people would say was bound to happen. But for the most part, I didn't ever think would happen. I bet he would think the same thing, because although you guys only see me and him going at it on Twitter occasionally, he's at every single event, and for the most part, Keem in person is actually pretty chill. He's always coming up to our group and, and everyone else's group, and he's usually, one of those people that just bounce around and talks to everybody. But yeah, this weekend it kind of got into it, and the only reason I really am making this video is to set the record straight. Is I didn't go out and tweet like right as it happened, the timeline obviously on Twitter, just basically because neither Keem nor I can really explain exactly what happened in 256 characters or 256 characters. I never really wanted to on my part. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to his Twitter. I do have him muted. I saw like one of his tweets that said he swung on me, or I swung on him, and that didn't happen at all. And there's other things that I just wanted to put this video out to kind of correct a lot of what got said. Is mainly because I'm there in a professional capacity. I'm there, with Team Kaliber to support my team, to meet with sponsors, and to hang out with our players and other members of our organization. And like you'll never really catch us at the bar hanging out and doing these things into the late nights of the events. Is we usually just hang out with each other and things like that for the most part. And I really just wanted to come out and just set the story straight, because there's lies going back both ways. There's things being said about Keem that aren't true, that I'm going to correct here as well. And obviously there's a few things being said about me that weren't true either. And why I say I'm in there in a professional capacity is because at these events, during LAN tournaments, our social medias across the board are really concentrated on all our activity levels spike, especially the pro players. And I know that my Twitter at that point in time is under scrutiny by not only fans and sponsors, just by everybody. So I really try to keep off Twitter. I did obviously tweet about the situation at some point the next day after all this had happened. Out of all the tweets I was getting saying I was banned from UMG, that I swung on Keem, or I tried to start a fight and do all these things, which are just completely not true. I responded to a few tweets and deleted a lot of it shortly thereafter. I was obviously very upset at what had happened and what had actually transpired afterwards. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do here today. So the long and short of it is that on, I believe it was Friday night, obviously because these events, we stay up so long, it gets a little blurred, but Friday night, basically me and Parker had gone our separate ways. She went downstairs in the hotel lobby to meet up with Ava, and I went to go hang out with Sharp and a couple of the other pro players for a second, and then of course Parker, like 5 minutes after meeting up with Ava, was going to come join up with us. So of course I'm hanging out with our players and stuff like that, and it came up that Keemstar had poured his drink on Parker. Now, to do a little bit of backstory about Parker, if you guys have ever seen her stream or follow her Twitter or talk to anyone that knows her, she's an angel. She's the sweetest girl in the world, and she's not a drinker or a partier. She's been in a bar that wasn't in one of these hotel lobbies, I think, like never. Like, it's always been a restaurant. She's never gone out. She's had probably like 4 alcoholic drinks in her whole entire life. Not a partier, not a part of that scene whatsoever. And neither, as TK besides Ava, largely isn't either. We'll go down there and hang out and stuff like that, but that's not like what we do at these events. For the most part, my pros are in bed pretty early because I got to play the next day, and I'm in bed pretty early too because I hang out with them and the people surrounding that organization. And never been too much of partiers. But basically what had happened is that on Friday night, I had heard that Parker had a drink spilled on her, and that Keem had done it, and obviously I was very upset. Now this was a good 24 hours before it hit Twitter, because neither him or I put it on Twitter right when it happened. I believe he was so drunk he went to sleep, and the only thing I had tweeted is I tweeted at Keem, at him without a little dot in front of it. Wasn't trying to put it in front of Twitter, for him to follow me back for DM, because at this point he had me blocked. I wanted to know what had happened. And after, as soon as I met back up with Parker, I obviously still pretty upset about what had happened. She basically told me that she was like just outside of the bar, had just gotten there, was there like 30 seconds before this happened to say hi to Ava. Keemstar, who apparently had just gotten a drink from the bar, had walked all the way over to where they were at to say hi. And that was pretty much all he did, was just say hi, how are you, doing the basic pleasantries. Oh, hi, Parker. He knows who Parker is. He might have tweeted out that he poured a drink on a Team Kaliber or TK Royal girl, whatever, but no, he knows she's my girlfriend. And that, you know, that's why she's there, and it's not because she's just there on her own to support TK. But basically, he had tried to, after saying hello, had tried to walk through their group. As soon as he was outside of his group, managed to spill his entire drink all over Parker's hair, her back, her shirt, everything. Drenched her in a drink. And Parker, being Parker, was, you know, very quiet and timid, of course, from that. She tried to play it off all cool, laugh it off, like, no problem, blah, 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 blah. But was obviously pretty shook and pretty intimidated. Went up to the hotel room and went to sleep. And kind of just hid in the hotel room. Now, I went up there and asked her, you know, what had happened, blah, 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 why she was, you know, all of a sudden where she was going to go out and hang out with Ava and we were going to go do all this stuff, because it was rather early in the night. It couldn't have been later than like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Why she was up in the room, like why was she out having fun, you know, going and hanging out with Ava and her girlfriends and things like that. And she played it off, but she was obviously, you know, pretty upset. Now, she got over it by the next day and stuff, but during that point, she had never had a whole drink spilled on her, never had a drink spilled on her. And the fact that it was Keemstar, like, you know, I've never spilled a drink on anyone in my life. If I have, it was at a bar surrounded by people and it was a stranger and I bumped into him and a little bit came on him. It wasn't a whole entire drink, and I didn't pour it on someone from behind them. So, you know, he can say it was an accident. Whether or not it's an accident, who really knows? And as you're going to tell from what I'm going to say, it doesn't really matter, you know, and it's insofar as much as how I reacted. But, you know, at that point, I thought it was on purpose. She thought it was on purpose. Blade came in and said it was an accident. He said, obviously, you know, Blade sticking up for his boy Keemstar, saying that he saw the whole thing. But everyone I talked to said he was like at the very end of the other side of the bar. And, you know, whatever. You know, he could be lying, but you know, obviously he's just sticking up for his friend, and you know, who's not guilty of that. But you know, the other people that saw were COD Black Ice, he was the photographer for Call of Duty. You know, Mike Martin was there. A whole bunch of other people were there, surrounded. You know, Parker all told me that he did it on purpose, that he literally walked past and through the middle of their group when he could have easily gone around, turned around, and just threw his drink all over her back, all over her hair, all over her everything. And you know, Parker, she's, you know, a girl. She planned this outfit, picked it all out, you know, was very excited to go downstairs and meet up with everyone, got all dolled up for like an hour before she went down there and do all that stuff like girls do. As soon as she got there, a drink spilled all over her, and she was upset. And obviously, anyone's first inclination when something like that happens, it's like he had to have done it on purpose. What's the chances that the one person he spills a drink on at that event is my girlfriend, who was there for 20 seconds? So obviously I was pretty upset at that point, but nothing happened. We all went to bed, but I didn't tweet anything out. He didn't tweet anything out. There was no drama surrounded right when that happened. Which is so funny that everything exploded, because even then, you know, the next morning, I woke up, I was still extremely upset. And all I wanted to do was avoid Keemstar. Like, me and him, like, we'll go at each other all day long, you know, pretty much on Twitter, and, you know, we'll have little, you know, mini roast sessions or jokes at these events, stuff like that. And I'm the type of guy, you know, come at me all day long. For me, Keemstar is just someone that I mess with on Twitter because it's funny. And he messes with me, and then I respond back and roast his shit. And that, to me, I think that's absolutely hilarious. Insofar as much as, you know, me and him have never been anything I would consider some, you know, serious beef. Like, I don't hate Keemstar. For the most part, I think he's funny. You know, I like messing with him. I like seeing him try to dance around the stupid things he says, like I think most people do. I don't really watch his videos so as much as I know a lot of people do. But, you know, for the most part, I have no hatred for Keemstar or anything like that. So, but, you know, we've had a couple run-ins more recently in the last couple weeks where I made him look pretty damn stupid on Twitter. Because, you know, he says some things without thinking, and, you know, obviously most of the time they're pretty against common sense and really stupid. So I figured he was really mad at her, or mad at me, and decided to, because I'm not at that bar, or, you know, or really hang out in the same groups as him. Because he doesn't really hang out with a group. He doesn't come to these events. He buys his own spectator pass and just kind of bounces around socializing. But yeah, I figured he threw the drink on her. So the next morning, I called up Jeff and all the other people at UMG asking to have him banned. Not because of any other reason besides this is like the 10th incident he's had at these lands. You guys have seen from a video I previously made, and he admitted to himself, he got into a fight with another team owner. He headbutted Clayster a pro player. And without blowing his shit up and without trying to put a whole bunch more drama on there, just trust me in the fact that he's had numerous incidents of either physical, altercations happening, or basically questionable behavior for someone of his age to come do at an event full of 16-year-olds. So basically I asked him to have him banned for those reasons, that, maybe it was either that or just banned for the day, because I didn't want something to happen at the event. At this point, I'd completely kept off Twitter. I didn't want it to hit Twitter. I'm there for the team. I'm there to support my teammates, and that's what I want my Twitter to reflect during these events. And all I really wanted to do was avoid an altercation. Now, obviously, he didn't get banned from UMG, and I was told that that they weren't going to ban him because what had happened was happened at the hotel and not their venue, which is really kind of a dumb line being crossed, because MLG has banned plenty of people from their events from stuff that happened at the hotel after hours, after their event was closed and not in the venue. But to each his own. Those are UMG's rules. I imagine them, it being an open tournament, banning people from their event for stuff that happens in the hotel would probably end up with a lot less people entering their tournaments, because kids they're open, so everybody comes out to these things, all the teams, all the Call of Duty players, and quite a lot of stuff always happens at UMG. You would never know that from my Twitter or my videos, because I don't talk about all that stuff, because I'm, like I said, I'm there hanging out with TK and not really involved in all the little kids and all the trouble they get into at these events. I'll go outside and chat up, but that's the most part I get involved in it. So, I knew he wasn't banned, and he knew obviously I was upset because Jeff told him that I was the one that was trying to have him banned, and he obviously had figured it out by then, that it got back to me that he had spilled a drink on Parker. So basically I went downstairs to the event. Parker was standing upstairs because she took a little bit longer to get ready, and it was pretty early in the morning. So basically I enter the event, and sure enough, Keemstar is right at the door. Yelling, "Yo, Kos, come here, blah, blah, I want to talk to you," things like that. And at that point, I was like, you know what, fuck off, Keem. Don't want to talk to you, don't want to have anything to do with you, and I just kept walking into the event. At this point, he pursued me, walking behind me, Kos, blah, blah, blah. And we got a good, all the way into the event. If you guys have seen, there is an 11-second video of us screaming at each other, and it's really stupid, but it is out there, and it was at the very end of our little 20-second altercation. But basically he followed me all the way into the event, and at one point I guess I saw red. I'm sorry, if you're a man and even by accident someone pours a drink on your girl, I doubt you'd be able to handle it like I did, which was just calmly, no physical altercation. I didn't go run and look for him to beat his ass, especially because, let's face it, Keemstar poured a drink on my girl. What's the chances that literally the one person out of thousands at this event that I know dislikes me happens to pour a drink on my girl? Even given that, I was just like, fuck it, I don't want drama, I don't want any of this shit. So I was just trying to avoid him. But yeah, I obviously saw red, I obviously flipped, and I turned around and screamed at him, "Get the fuck out of here, leave me the fuck alone." And to the point where he kept on moving forward and saying what he was saying, it was an accident, blah blah blah. I offered to buy her a drink, all this shit, which obviously me or her doesn't matter at all. So I just kept pushing him back, hey, leave me the fuck alone, leave me alone, I don't want fucking anything to do with you. I never swung on him. I'm very surprised to hear he said that, because there was nothing beyond some light shoving that happened. I did swing my hand up like this to knock his hat off, to just, get the fuck away from me, and his hat came halfway off to expose half of his bald head, and his glasses went off onto the ground, stuff like that. And then literally at that point is when the video you saw picked up. I was right around 11 seconds where you saw me doing this hand motion, shut the fuck up, I don't care what you're saying, go away. That's when we were escorted out by security. Not by security, by Chris, one of the owners and basically the event manager of UMG. No security, no cops ever got involved. We were never banned. Neither one of us was ever banned from UMG. We were told to leave to go cool down, which is exactly what happened. I left, he left. He did pursue me even more into the hall, trying to talk to me, and the whole time I'm screaming "fuck off," which is really funny. He literally pursued me all the way into the event, and then all the way up the stairs. Because obviously he's there for his drama stuff, and he's trying to provoke any kind of reactions, and that's who he is. He's an attention seeker. He's a drama starter. That is who Keem is. But if you get past Keem's little fucking Keemstar thing, he'd probably say the same thing. That's what he does. Is he has no basically regard for his own perception. It's just out there to get reactions, to cause drama and stuff. So he followed me pretty much all the way into the hall, where, you know, Mike Martin, who was with me, and a whole bunch of people that had kind of come with me to calm me down, were just telling him to leave, which eventually he did, like, all the way through the hotel, a good, like, you know, 100, 200 yards away from the event. He was still following me, trying to talk to me. Basically, I just wanted nothing to do with him because, you know, I honestly, like, if I talked to him at that point, I was going to fight him. And at that point, you know, I'm obviously just trying to stay away from him because I know myself, you know, if someone pours a drink on my girlfriend, I want to beat your ass. And I want to do more than beat your ass. I want to fucking actually hurt you. And I knew, like, I didn't want that to happen. You know, I didn't want that to be something that got talked about. It didn't need to happen in an event. That's not what I was there for. And I summoned every bit of professionalism and adult, whatever you want to call it, maturity to try to deal with that. And that was my way of dealing, was just to not talk to him. And that actually ended up happening. Now, a whole bunch of stuff came out afterwards that I swung on him, and then we both got banned, and there was all this beef. No, like, literally after that, you know, he got told by UMG and their staff to leave me alone. And obviously, the only reason why I'd even come back into that venue that day and that morning, because obviously I knew it was pretty heated, that going down there I was going to be walking into an altercation most likely, and that's why I tried to have him banned, is I went down there to watch my team. And I almost missed the game because of that, because I had to go up to my hotel room, you know, breathe in and out, calm down. And of course, like, right as I got up there, I got a call from Mike Martin, who was there standing with UMG Jeff, you know, the owner of UMG, saying, go ahead, you're not banned, you can come back down. But obviously, we can't have anything physical happen at our events. Of course, that's a given. So I came back down and watched my team, and that was it. You know, that was literally the end of it. Now, of course, it went on Twitter for the whole day and most of the next day. I think I had like 3 responses total, or 4 or 5 responses total, compared to literally the thousands of tweets I got saying, you fought Keemstar, you know, you did this, it was an accident, he poured his drink on you, or your girl, and all these other things, and I just try to stay out of it. You know, after we had lost on Sunday, we didn't even stay at the event. We went to my friend's house. I went to law school, like, 3 hours away from Dallas, so a lot of my law school friends still live in Dallas, and we went over to one of their houses and hung out and had a really nice time, a really great night for our last night in UMG Dallas. But for the most part, like, I saw him like 3 or 4 times after that. We just went our separate ways, and that was just it. So really, the only reason why I'm making this video is to say, you know, there's a lot of people saying that I overreacted and things like that, when, you know, I didn't even react. I literally didn't tweet. I literally just tried to ignore him after he had spilled his drink on my girlfriend, accident or not. At that point, I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to not have to talk to him. And I don't care, and this is not why I don't want to see him, like, if I see you in the room, I'm going to flip out. No, I didn't want to physically talk to him or be near him, and wouldn't have. This whole thing wouldn't have happened had he not pursued me relentlessly over and over and over again to talk to me after it happened, because, you know, honestly, I didn't want to hear his side of the story. Accident or not, you poured a drink on my girlfriend, and it ruined her night, and you're an asshole, so I'm naturally going to think you did it on purpose. But either way, it didn't matter. I didn't want to talk to him. But, you know, that's exactly what happened, and that's all that happened. So, no, I didn't overreact, I don't think. I overreacted to him following me, and I turned around and kind of screamed at him. But, fuck, on the scale of what I would think you or your dad, if you're a guy, you know, I'm obviously not talking to, even a chick, a guy, what if someone pours a drink on your dude? You know, Bae's not going to take that too well. You know, no one's going to take that too well. Had that happened in a bar and not an event, dude, there'd have been a fight right away or some shit like that. You pour your drink on a girl, accident or not, anywhere, the dude's going to come up and say something to you. And you better be damn sure, you know, that you can either take him or you can be really apologetic. Either way, you got to diffuse the situation. My way of diffusing it was just to ignore it. Act like it didn't happen and go about my business. But, you know, as much as I tried, that didn't work for obvious reasons. But, you know, that was what I wanted to come out and say with this video. I'm not trying to talk shit on Keem. I'm not trying to say what happened wasn't an accident, even though everyone I talked to told me it wasn't an accident. And these are people that, like, aren't drama stars. These are people that are in the industry that knows me as Justin. I'm the owner of Team Kaliber. They don't even, half of them don't even know I have a YouTube channel. Don't even know who Keemstar is. And that was the thing with Jeff too, is, like, you know, he probably would have got banned if he had known about all these other things, but he didn't even know what Keemstar looked like, which is really, you know, surprising. But sure enough, you know, when I told him, you know, who he was and what had happened, he was like, yeah, no problem, he's banned. You know, just come down to the event and point him out, because I don't know what he looks like. So I was like, okay, no big deal. But of course, you know, word had gotten down, and Keemstar went and talked to him, said it was an accident. He apologized, said it would never happen again. So Jeff, being a really good guy, let him stay at the event, you know, and that's just pretty much what happened. But, you know, I didn't swing on him. He didn't block one of my punches. I mean, no, we never actually touched. His hands never touched me, like, at all. I pushed him a few times, and if you're watching this, Keem, I apologize, but, like, dude, if it was you, and someone poured a drink on your daughter or your ex-wife, I imagine you handling it quite differently. I don't imagine you handling it anywhere near as calmly as I did. But, you know, I just wanted to set that record straight. And we didn't, neither one of us got kicked out of UMG. I even saw him respond to, you know, because my @ was in it and it showed up on my notifications, that he, you know, people thought he got banned. He didn't get banned. No one got banned from UMG for that. For the most part, you know, our yelling at each other is kind of a regular thing at open tournaments. If you guys have ever seen some AMs play, they scream all kinds of obscenities across the monitors, so to speak. But, you know, neither one of us, you know, I don't hate Keem. He doesn't, you know, I don't know if he hates me, but either way, it's more of a thing where, you know, I just wanted it to go away. Like, this is not why I'm there. I don't like being a part of drama at all. Like, that's not my thing. You know, I'm 29 years old. I'm a bit over the whole, you know, that kind of scene. Like, as you go to these open events, it is a lot like high school. There's a lot of little cliques. A lot of the kids are, you know, still in high school. So there's a lot of that kind of drama that goes around, and obviously TK and everyone else, we keep away from it, like 100% of the time. Is that we're there to compete, we're there to work, and that's pretty much it. I want to socialize with, you know, people. I call up people, I go socialize. Everyone we know lives here in Atlanta anyways. So just to clear up all that, sorry about this stupid video. I know a lot of you guys probably been waiting on me to do a gaming video because I didn't upload one, you know, in the last couple days simply because I've been out of town and things like that. But guess what? We're getting back to the grind. If you're waiting for me to stream, that's happening too. I'm going to try and stream tonight. Don't hold me to it. But I'm going to try and get back on all that. So all that content, all that stuff is coming back. So look forward to that. Again, you know, I apologize for this stupid video. I regret making it right now. I'm not even sure I'm going to upload it because it's pretty stupid that I even have to, you know, explain any of this. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you in the stream, and I look forward to seeing you in the comments tomorrow on tomorrow's gaming video. Peace.